Hello children, this is your English teacher Mrs. Aisha. Today we are going to learn lesson number 2 from our course book, My Early Days with the Chimpanzees. It's an excerpt from My Life with Chimpanzees by Jane Goodall. Jane Goodall was born on 3rd April 1934 in London, United Kingdom. She is a very famous personality and known for the study of chimpanzees, conservation, and animal welfare. She has got several awards. To name a few: Tyler Prize for Environmental Achievement, Bambi Our Earth. She has got her education from Newnham College, University of Cambridge, and Darwin College, University of Cambridge. Jane Goodall spent more than 55 years observing wild chimpanzees in Gombe Stream National Park in Tanzania. July 16, 1960 was the day she set her foot on the land of chimpanzees, that is, Gombe National Park, at the age of 26. The two African Game Scouts who were responsible for protecting the 30 square miles of the park helped Jane and her mother to find a place where they could put up a tent, and she chose a very lovely spot under some trees near the small, fast flowing Kakombe stream. She used to get up early morning at 5:30 a.m. and have breakfast, then set off and climb the peak, where she discovered the chimpanzees moving in the trees and heard their voice. Initially, she observed them through binoculars, and gradually she got friendly with them. Most of the time, the chimps wandered about in small groups of 6 or less, not in big troop like the baboons. Sometimes many groups joined together, especially when there would be delicious ripe fruit on one big tree. When the chimps got together like that, they would be very excited. Eventually, she realized that the chimps she watched from the peak were all part of one group, a community. There were about 50 chimps belonging to that community. Chimps ate fruits, kinds of leaves, blossoms, seeds, stems, a variety of insects, and sometimes hunt and kill prey animals. Gombe, an adventurous place. Very few animals in the forest at Gombe were potentially dangerous, mainly buffalo, leopards, and different kinds of poisonous snakes. Jane Goodall once saw the dark shape of a large animal that vaguely appeared in front of her. She stood quiet. Her heart began to beat fast, and she realized it was a buffalo. By chance, the wind was blowing from buffalo to her, so he couldn't smell her. He was peacefully gazing in the opposite direction, so she somehow managed to escape. Second instance was more dangerous than the earlier one. She was sitting on the peak and heard a strange sound. She then looked around and saw a leopard approaching her. She could just see the black and white tip of its tail above the grass. It was walking along the little trail that led directly to where she was sitting. Very silently she moved away and looked for chimps in another valley. Later, she went back to the peak safely. Home for Jane. The peak began to feel like home. She carried blanket, kettle, some sugar, coffee, and tea mugs. She used to make tea in the middle of the day whenever she got tired from a long trek, and then slept close to the chimneys with a blanket. She loved to be there at night, especially when there was a moon. Whenever she heard the coughing grunt of a leopard, she just prayed and pulled the blanket overhead just like the chimps. Chimps sleep like humans. Chimps sleep all night just as we do. They make their own nests or beds. First, the chimp bends a branch down over some solid foundation and folds it with the help of its feet. Then he folds the end of the first branch back over the second. They prepared the pillows by picking up lots of small soft leafy twigs. Chimps like their comfort. Infants sleep in their nest with their mothers until they are about 5 years old or until the next baby is born and the older child is able to make its own bed. Jane's mom sets up a clinic. Mother and daughter would exchange the day's experiences with each other. Jane's mother had set up a clinic and she used to give medicines to the local people around. Mostly she treated fishermen. Patients would walk for miles to get treatment as she was a good doctor. Jane's mother had to go back to England after 4 months to manage things at home. Jane missed her mother after she had gone, but she never felt lonely as her passion towards animal kingdom right from her childhood had made her live and dedicate her life to chimpanzees. We understand the life of chimpanzees in a better way through her researches and studies. I would like to end the lesson with a quote by Jane. Every individual matters. Every individual has a role to play. Every individual can make a difference. Thank you.